Hello and welcome and welcome and hello and hello and welcome. You're here, Shanus 987. That's what's important. Shanus is here. We can get this party started. Guys, welcome, hello, and welcome. Good morning. Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome and hello. Happy Monday. It is, of course, un poco mas, and you find yourself in the very enviable position of catching us live. I've just been mailed a plaque from YouTube. It's not for 100,000 or 1 million subscribers. It's for the fastest receding hairline amongst the fin turd nation. So, yeah, they put me up against all the Canadians, all the different folks around the Midwest, and they've decided I have the fastest receding hairline. What's going on, Mongo312, Tobias, Mike, Sublano, Sheenus again? Yeah, very nice. Good call, Shanus. I'm in some long options. I'm into a lot of shares. I don't have that many short calls. I'm not, making the type of insane gains I was making on the first run, but I'm making some very, very substantial gains today. I'm extremely happy. Everything's playing out, guys. Let me share my screen so you don't have to stare at my giant forehead this whole time. The stock's up 13%, about $5. The volume is very, very strong. 94 million shares traded so far on the day. The beauty of this is shorts are not covering. Shorts are not covering. So just to give you a quick check of the live short interest, there's 84 million shares sold short, or 17%. That's over $3 billion worth of stock now. But there's 166 million shares on loan, or double the amount of shares. So they're actually borrowing over, $6.1 billion worth of stock. Now, if the cost to borrow remains artificially low because it's a, Mexican standoff, circle jerk, sausage fest, sword fight, the old one-eyed trouser snake, the old meat whistle action, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, you guys who have been to liberal arts colleges, you do anyway. But anyway, enough gay stuff. Stuart George is here. He's been waiting for this all day. Oh, Stuart, you got to get a life. Party on my island when it hits 100. That's great, Mongo. My SMCI is up. I bought it because Danny is a handsome tap water drinking stock guru. Well, I am portly. I learned to climb trees in the Pacific Northwest. But anyway, guys, so let me get you that check of the live short interest. So they're actually borrowing more today, 300,000 shares, flat on Friday. You see cost to borrow is still being maintained artificially low because the shorts are the longs. The call is coming from inside the house, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. But I want to show you this chart. Basically, I said we're in this wedge. It has to move up, and that's exactly what happened. You see this just extreme move. I think the stock is up like from 25s to over 40 now in just a couple of trading days. So the move has just been exactly what we were looking for, exactly what we wanted, exactly what we knew was coming. Because if you can do math and you can follow these things through, you knew that this entire narrative, this entire bear narrative was a fugazi. Even if you can just read the Hindenburg report. It's like these violations are from 7-8 years ago. The big whistleblowers with the inside, these are people that have been in lawsuits for years. They haven't been with the company for years. Okay, they hired back this CFO guy who's a, if you look at the evidence, sort of previous SEC stuff, it shouldn't have brought the guy back. They should have got some fresh blood. When people have issues, these accounting issues, whatever, improprieties, let him go, part company. But, what happens if you build these companies up over a long period of time, you become personal friends, you have these relationships, and it clouds your judgment. So perhaps Uncle Chucky and Aunt Sarah, weren't in their right mind. Perhaps they got into the boxed wine. Perhaps they were out in their vineyard where they were supposed to be rescuing wealthy trees, but they were actually just drinking a bunch of wine, getting sauced. Who knows what they were up to? But anyway, the wedge played out absolutely perfectly. We're breaking out. I think numbers are going to be good. I think we basically know what they are already, and we know the entire narrative that this company is not growing. They're losing market share. They have inferior liquid cooling. It's like it's all 180 degrees from the truth. The top line is growing rapidly. The EPS is growing rapidly. They're not losing market share. They have, cutting edge development joined at the hip with NVIDIA. It's opposite of everything they're telling you. And you can see why they're doing it when you look at what the institutions did here. Look at this. Look at these freaks. Look at the institutional ownership. It tells you everything you need to know. They killed everything, sold everything, and then just bought triple, double, triple back at the lows. Look at these positions. And people are asking, like, BlackRock 40 million. They didn't buy 40 million shares. There was a split. So I'm not sure if it was 9-for-1 or 10-for-1. I have to look back. I knew all these details a few months ago when I was like super heavily researching the stock and everything that happened. But I've just, like, basically I've done my research now. I don't care about the noise in the media. There's no new information coming out of these shorts. It's all complete bullshit. The fact is SMCI is killing it. Their growth is, even faster than NVIDIA. Their top line growth makes Palantir look like a joke. I mean, honest to God, people think I'm making this up. Their top line growth makes Palantir look like a joke. I know, and you're saying, okay, the margins are nothing. It's not comparable. That's true. That's absolutely true. Same with NVIDIA. They're never going to have those margins. This is a commodity business, even though they bring some unique, software and hardware and different, things to the table. At the end of the day, they're mostly competing on price. But just look at the revenues. I mean, 5.2 to 7 in 2023. And then in 1 year, they more than doubled their revenues, assuming any of this is true. And it's not just all fraud. And then they're looking for right around 24, 25 billion. So the rate of growth coming off of 5, 7, 15, 25 in only 3 years is just staggering. And they go, oh, it's not growing. And then they go, but their EPS is shrinking. EPS 55, 121, 217. And then this year they're looking for around, most people are thinking around 280. So that's still a huge increase from last year. And they're making massive investments in their technology. They're about to open a huge new center in Malaysia. They have a ton of inventory. But I've looked at what I've talked to people. They're going to be able to sell that stuff through. That's their whole deal, is they can deliver 5 times as fast as anybody else because they have these modular solutions on the shelf. They can deploy them in a month or two where, HPE or Dell would still be there, playing with their PUD trying to make a plan. Supermicro's over there. They're on it. You're installed. You're up. You're ready to go. And Uncle Chucky and Aunt Sarah are scamming another charity and building another vineyard. Hiring a bunch of D-bags who screwed up the first time. Perhaps, Uncle Chucky should stick to technology and let somebody else sort of run the legal, compliance part of the company. Perhaps that might be wise. But just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. I mean, look at reality and then look at the narrative. Oh, their profits are shrinking. EPS is shrinking. Market share. Well, if you have an industry, this sector, this AI data center, they're saying it's going to expand from, 30 billion last year to, in 10 years time, 360 billion. That's not me making that up. That's, industry estimates. I look at a number of them to sort of see if it's accurate, and it is. So this total addressable market is going to more than 10x in the next 10 years. And SMCI is right there. They're just positioned the perfect time and place. It's like Big Lebowski. Sometimes there's a dude. Sometimes there's a dude that's just perfect for their time and place. SMCI didn't do it. They just kind of fell into this thing. They had NVIDIA was there. They were developing with NVIDIA. But the fact that this AI data center stuff just took off like wildfire, I don't know if they could have planned for that a few years ago. But sometimes, the sun just shines on a dog's ass, and you can't ask why. Just scratch it and enjoy. So, guys, what I was going to mention, institutional ownership. Look at these new positions. How much red do you see? Obviously, if you have half a brain in your head, green are new positions, red are positions that have 100% sold out, and white are positions that have changed. So new positions here, Catalyst Fund, 100,000 shares, $3 million position. Same with Ironwood, Commonwealth, 278, and then Swiss National Bank. And the reason I think a lot of these are all conversions is because they're all at the same price. So these might be listed as new positions, some of them when they're conversions. But the point is, guys, institutions are just buying the stock off the lows as fast as they could while they're telling you, oh, it's crashing to zero, it's going to be delisted. They all knew that wasn't going to happen. And you don't think, I mean, I know everything's supposed to be kept quiet, confidential, but I know how this stuff works, guys. It's a leaky ship. Leaks are everywhere. You think Ernst and Young, all the employees there are just like, they don't talk to anybody. Nobody knows sort of the backstory of what's going on. None of these hedge. Watch the special on, Cohen, the guy who owns them. Watch how he got so wealthy. It's insider trading. These guys get away with everything. These guys just get away with trading on insider information. They make phone calls, they pay people off, and you think, oh, they must be in prison for life. Nope. This is how the system works, guys. You just have to follow the money and do the opposite of what they want you to do. You think the biggest three in the world, I keep showing you this, not biggest three banks, biggest three traders, stock market manipulators, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. They were the same three in SoFi. Look at Palantir. Look at any of these companies that make these dramatic run up, 3x in a couple months. Palantir's case, 10x plus 20x. Oh, I'm so bitter I sold my Palantir. What an idiot. What an idiot. Vinay sold BBI too early, still made a healthy bet. Never, I doubled my money on Palantir, so it was a good trade. I should have 10x my money. But when you 2x in very short order, I generally take profits. Now, on the rare occasion a stock just runs away from you, that's kind of just, you got to take your medicine. So nothing I can do. What's up, Lisa? What's up, Clap My Dog? We got Superfly 895, but just take a look at this, guys. These are the filings. What are you seeing red to green here? There's just a couple red positions, but these are all the filings going back. And again, I know most of these are conversions from the split, but nobody's selling out. That's what you see. Absolutely nobody selling out. Very, very few. It's like 10 to 1, green to red. So again, I'm just saying, follow the money. Look at what they're doing, not what they're saying. Look at this setup. This is going to break out of here. This is where it's been in prison here. Just got to break through 50. And this stock at 50 is only 2x this year's sales. This year's sales. People say, oh, HPE, Dell, better investment. Totally disagree. I think as liquid cooling becomes paramount, density, I think Supermicro is actually better. They were better before, and they just came out with solutions for Blackwell, which are even twice as good as anything they had. And I'm not reading about, HPE and Dell trumping them. They've been working on this stuff for decades. And they have a very deep relationship with NVIDIA that I frankly don't think HP and Dell have. But anyway, guys, stock moving. To quote Sicario, moving now. To quote the great Philip Seymour Hoffman, what's up, douchebags? Anyway, guys, looking good, Billy Ray. I don't know if I'm Billy Ray. SMCI to 150. It's not going to go to 150 this year, Clap My Dog. I don't see that because it doesn't have the margins to explode that. They don't need to push it up that quickly. I mean, coming off of 17, I don't necessarily think it's going to like 8x this year, but stranger things have happened. I mean, I really do think if there was no accounting scandal, this is $100 stock all day, every day, twice on Sunday. So, JS, even I bought SMCI at 31 and I've been extremely bearish. Yeah, I mean, you can be bearish and look at the accounting and be very skeptical of management and still understand that they caught lightning in a bottle. Even if management has been a little bit shady, even if management has been a little bit, what worries me is why haven't we hired a CFO by now? I think that might come with this business update. I would love to see everything announced at once. We got the shorts are bent over a barrel right now, getting a guided tour of the lower 48. They're trying to find passage to Alaska and Hawaii so they can get bent over a barrel, those, far-flung states as well. But this is just absolutely perfect. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. Come to the very end of this wedge where market makers had just absolutely no more room to operate. And this is exactly what I described to you was going to happen with SoFi, was that you have shorts and then you have shorts. You have market makers and then you have young, brash, dumb douchebags in Armani suits with cocaine problems that are just, they think they run, they think they know what's going to happen. They don't hedge. They don't think about, what if I'm wrong? What if this is not dying, but in fact growing very rapidly and making a ton of money? And what if their debt isn't actually problematic, out of cash? And what if they don't have to desperately do a money raise because they have no reason to do that? They have a ton of payables they're collecting. They have a ton of inventory to sell through. They have a new factory already built. They've made the investments. Otherwise, their EPS would be much, much higher on the back of this growth. The people saying all this stuff don't know how to read financials. They don't know what they're talking about. And moreover, I think they do, but they're just lying. They're just lying. I hate to say it. I don't want to sort of rupture this Pollyanna notion you have of the world that all these analysts and journalists and turds are honest and they're giving you their honest opinion. They're not. They want to take your money. That's why they stop you turds out. That's why things look like this. Look at this chart, guys. You can see it for yourself. Stepping up, stepping up, stepping up, stepping up, stepping up neatly, stepping up one more time, and the algo just completely losing control on volume. They want to trade this sideways. It's not going to trade sideways. But much like SoFi, the smart money covered, but they left the other shorts who are not in the club, not inside on the program, hung out to dry. Those shorts are cannon fodder, like retail, like you and I. Why do they always send the poor? Why do they always send the poor? Let's see. I'm definitely shorting Mongo. Are you the guy from Blazing Saddles? I'm definitely shorting. That's funny. I'll post my long position here at my JP Morgan private bank account. Show you some funny huge green numbers, Mongo. I showed my last position how much money I made on the run. Showed you all the evidence. But yeah, I'm definitely shorting into a massive because I'm a complete idiot, SMCI price, guess February 28th. Shane, I have to hear after I hear what they say, I can give you a real good idea where it's going to be, based on what market makers are going to do. Right now, I have no idea what they're going to say. Are they going to have a new CFO? I know they're going to meet the deadline, but are we going to get all those numbers tomorrow? I don't know. Assuming they put all the accounting stuff to bed, this is a triple-digit stock. It's not going to go up that high by the end of the month, but I think it could easily break 50. I think it could easily break 60. Just depends where the market makers want to take it. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, all these companies can take the stock wherever they want. They have infinite cash. Do you have any idea how big Vanguard is? They literally just have infinite money. If they wanted to buy this entire company at the lows, they could have. They don't want to own and manage this company and, fight every day with Uncle Chucky for the corner office. They just want to make money on these huge runs off of stupid, weak retail investors. I mean, I don't know why I would try to short the stock and then tell you guys everything that's actually happening. The thing market makers never do is actually pull back the curtain and tell you the truth. And I'm in a position where I know things you guys don't know. I invest a lot of money, guys. So, people I talk to are just better than people you talk to. It's a better brand of people. So cold, LOL. Vanguard and friends should pump it to 200. That will sell. They pumped it to 120. You see that last move? Did you see the slope? Did you see how it went up? Watch, they're going to do that again. It's only going to go higher. When they pushed it to 120, it had half these revenues, had less profits. Don't think they can't pump it again. They can. I could easily be a BlackRock double agent. Yeah. They hire a lot of, they hire a lot of fat guys in shirts from Target. It's just what they wear at BlackRock. Most of them wear Armani, and they're like, yeah, we need to sort of mix it up. Let's mix in a fat guy with a, $8 shirt he got on sale at Target. Yeah, the guy with the receding hairline on YouTube? Yeah. Let's see if he's available. I'm pretty sure he's available. Anyway, guys, the great Katie Wentworth is here. Yep, it's all the usual suspects. It's a shell, buys and repacks other companies' stuff. John, you just have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, man. It's just not the case. They have their own factories. They buy boxes like racks, but no, they have their own software. They have extensive proprietary technology. Why do you think they install the biggest data centers in the world, John? I mean, how do they get these revenues? Just selling it all between their brothers? I guess we'll know. We'll know if they get delisted. We'll know if management goes to prison. We'll see it. But again, people like John know more than BlackRock. They know more than Vanguard. They know more than State Street. They know more than the Swiss National Bank. They know more than all these hedge funds that manufactured this entire narrative along with their partners at Hindenburg, and then bought all the shares back off the lows. And a lot of people think like John, but explain this to me. Explain it. Explain the chart. Institutional ownership, absolutely stable, down to nothing, and then tripling overnight off the lows. If they're not scamming retail to sell the dip and smell the rip, I don't know if anything's more obvious than this, but I don't know. If it's all a scam, I don't understand why people like John can figure that out, but the people who run Vanguard and BlackRock and State Street and these types of companies can't. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it, but he might be right. John might be right. It might all be a huge scam. There's accounting. In that sense, he's right. The accounting improprieties are real. They really are shady and screwed up and did all kinds of shady stuff and continued to do it once they got caught and brought back the people who were doing it. But the scandal is in the accounting and revenue recognition and double dealing, the family and improper recognition of revenues in the wrong quarters. It's not in the hardware. So folks like John and Bears have definite legitimate targets, criticisms they can lob at this company. But the fact that their hardware doesn't work or they're not leading in liquid cooling, I don't think that's the legitimate criticism. But I'm not an expert on anything. So, as most of you know who watch this channel, it's great Carl Seamark. He missed HIMS and Rocket Labs. He's gutted. Hey, don't worry, Carl. Don't chase. Don't regret. There's always another runner. There's another runner every single week. You just have to find it. The key is find it, position yourself, buy the lows, and then wait. And then don't get impatient because it might run in a month. It might run in 6 months. It might run in a year. You have to wait it out if the fundamentals are consistently where you want them to be. Don't believe anything else. Don't believe narratives. Don't believe hype. Don't believe chunky stock monkeys on YouTube, for God's sake. Think for yourself. Stop the group think. Stop the herd mentality. That's what you have to do to make money. Because market makers are moving one way, they're moving retail the other way. Market makers are like the sheepdogs. There's just a few of them. They can move all the sheep. You have to be that one black sheep that's running away and they have to chase you down. You have to blaze your own trail. They want you to sell at 18. Everyone's saying doom and gloom. Why? If I was short, I would want you buying. It just doesn't make any sense. If I'm short, why do I want the stock to go up? Why am I telling you it's going to go? Oh, because I want you to buy the high. I was telling you to buy the lows, Dumbo. Just like SoFi. I started this channel because I'm like, SoFi in the fours is a joke. It's a bad joke with no punchline other than I'm going to get rich and you guys are going to get shat upon because you're weak and stupid and impatient. That's all you have to have. Research, patience, and then be confident in what you know and what you own so they can't shake you out. What market makers want to do is they want to buy the lows after all the risk is gone. Company like SoFi, everybody, they thought it was risky. They thought once they figured out, hey, this isn't risky at all, this is a money press, then they wanted to buy it all at 6. But retail wasn't playing. Retail wasn't going to play that game. Every time they push it down, retail just keeps buying all the shares. So retail got rich on SoFi. Market makers mostly got rich on Palantir. There's huge institutional ownership there. But sometimes you catch them off guard, where the market makers are not properly positioned for the run. They create these lows, and what happens is retail is not falling for it all anymore. Retail comes in and says, this is a fugazi. We're going to buy all these SMCI shares, and it forces their hand. They probably still think, some of these shorts and market makers think there's a lot of bad news coming tomorrow. That's why they're not covering. I personally think they're wrong. But the other move is, you could say, well, why are they borrowing so many shares in excess of what they're shorting? The only real reason is to either manipulate the price or because they plan to short off this run. It's another pump and dump and dump and pump. It's a dirty diaper brigade over here. Oh, guys, what the hell am I talking about? I have no idea. Wedbush release details, substantial. And yeah, I saw, Wedbush, you had, I think you had Bologna's company out there. You have the usual suspects. Wedbush, they have sort of different breeds of analysts, those that cover sort of the big names and those that sort of cover the trading stocks. And it seems like with the trading stocks, they're always making calls at very, consequential times that, in my opinion, appear to be designed to, push the price of the stock around sort of often when shorts are desperate. I'm not saying it's market manipulation or coordinated. Of course it's not, because that would be illegal, unethical, immoral, unheard of, unscrupulous, unacceptable, indefensible, all that fun stuff. Anyone selling today before tomorrow, it's a DW, don't think they can't sell the news. I mean, again, pumps have to have dumps. So this just came off of 26? I mean, it's up 50% in little over a week. So that might be plenty of meat for market makers to take it off the bone and then flush this thing again, flush you out again. So it could very well sell off, but that's more short-term price action. That's more the tail wagging the dog. That's all taters. No meat, all taters. All taters. We got the great Mario Guzar. There's a real chance they dump this thing tomorrow. Marco, I'm not going to try to tell you guys how I structure my options, because it's not the purpose of this show. It's for me to try to teach you guys hedging and options. I'm not the expert on it. There's people on YouTube who are far more experienced and stuff. So I'll just leave that to them. But, I am not really hedging my position here, Marco. I know there's a chance they flush it tomorrow. I'm looking at this right now as a long-term investment until I see. I know there's some trades. I made money. I made a ton of money on the last run. I got out quite near the top. Very happy with that. But right now, I just see this as still grossly undervalued. Anywhere under, 60s is just a joke to me. So I'm not going to look to dump, even if it pumps, say, to the previous level of 48. I might swing some shares. I just have to, those runs, I look at the percentages, I look at the volume, I look at who's doing what, I look at what I think they're actually planning, and I act accordingly. It's nothing I can say, but until I know what's in the business update, until I know how they react, these are decisions I make right at game time. I mean, I'm prepared to do anything. I'm prepared to hedge. I'm prepared to go short. I'm prepared to go ultra long. I'm prepared to, lever up considerably. I got a lot of firepower. I feel like I know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to try to walk you guys through sort of how I trade this earnings on this extreme volatility, because it's just not something I can sort of articulate coherently right now, because I just have no idea what's going to be in there. And this business update could go anywhere from extremely good, like, to very bad. I mean, if you don't think it's possible that, guys, high reward does not come without high risk. I hope you guys know that. That's how the market works. Nothing's automatic. Nothing's a layup. Nothing goes up 50% in a week without risk. And market makers pushing it. And algos flipping. And shorts desperately looking for answers. Desperately looking for an out here. And not finding one. Because Vanguard, BlackRock, these guys say when you have an out. And they're saying no. So we just have to look at what they do with the stock. But I mean, 14%, $5 move today. Shorts not covering. I think shorts are going to continue to borrow. They're totally out on a limb. The volume doesn't look like it does other days. Volume just keeps coming in. Could it dump tomorrow after we get the business update? Is that dependent on what's in the business update? Are they just, is it preloaded? They could just have Marco could be very right. They could just have a huge preloaded dump because they have a ton of shares borrowed to short. So if this thing runs to 50 all of a sudden, they'll probably just short the living hell out of it. Marco's probably right. Yeah, no, Marco, you definitely something, yeah, no, I get you, man. You got to, exactly. I'm going to play it very much how you're going to play it. I just don't want to try to tell people how to structure hedging puts because it's not as simple as it sounds. And it's a very dynamic process. You have to be able to, you have to be able to move very, very quickly and get out of those options when they, it's very clear you're on the wrong side. Yep. Instantly when that news comes out, you have seconds to move. It's not, oh, I'm going to get a cup of coffee and scratch my nuts and then go take action. No. You have to be somebody who doesn't sleep, somebody who's paranoid, severe mental illness, watching the markets 24/7. In other words, a complete psychopath. It's the only way you beat the markets, guys. You got to be a complete nutcase. I'm all in long. Feels so good knowing it's a win-win situation. If they dump, well, Marco, again, be very careful. Don't get into like a thought bubble where it's a win-win. You can't lose. There could be news that is very bad. They could announce, they're not going to be able to file. They're taking the, company off the NASDAQ. I don't think that's going to happen. All the evidence suggests to me that's not going to happen. But just understand that high reward comes with high risk. It just, one does not exist without the other. And I think there's a reason that, they're very comfortable shorting the stock, which is because if they're going to short it anyway and dump it, and then they're going to sell the news no matter what, and it's already just pre-planned, that means the market makers are all pretty much in on it. And they're just going to screw retail again. But you're still fine to buy that dip as long as the business is good. Look at the fundamentals. You want to act long-term on fundamentals, but pick your entry and exit points based on this short-term phony volatility these market makers are creating. So look long-term to fundamentals, but play the short-term price action to your benefit. It's not that complicated. If you like the company long-term, why wouldn't you want to buy it at 19 or at 26? You could have just bought it the other day versus now you got to buy at 42. Entry points are everything. Could have already had 100% profit. But fear is your enemy. Logic is your friend. Research is your friend. If you have fear, what cures fear is research and knowledge. Research and knowledge give you confidence to hold your position through the false volatility, buy the extreme lows, and make a ton of money, along with folks like BlackRock, Vanguard, who do this to retail all the time. Yeah, they do it all the time. Yeah, they do it all the time. For real, I'm trying to get you some money. You've helped me all about you. I don't need any of your money, Marco Guzar. I don't have I do have an OnlyFans. It's PG-13. I do, some speedo work, but you don't want to try to find that. That was in dark times when I needed more money for SoFi shares. So I only had one member. It was a free. My OnlyFans. Just don't look for it. Don't look for it. It's not pretty. But anyway, guys, yes, Chunky Stock Monkey, hashtag Chunky Stock Monkey on OnlyFans. But also poke me on Friendster. Poke me on Friendster. But no, like I said, this channel is one. I'm just not asking for any money. We don't have a member area. We don't have a Patreon. I think most of you guys probably know more than me. You're just weak. You know what to do. You're just too weak to do it. It's like Jack Nicholson said in Hoffa. He's like, what good do I tell you don't know already? Something to Fitzy. He was leaving the union to Fitzy. Had no confidence. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I had. Okay. We got the great Phoenix 112. Sell the news here because they seem to have the hang the moon. Everyone been Ron. BS never pans out. Fundamentals don't seem to matter. Fundamentals don't matter over the very short term, but this is huge news because this is 3 quarters of results a yearly. This is a lot of data coming at you. This is a ton of data coming at you. So this matters. This is one of those times where the actual content of the information really, really matters to the extreme. Rock the mic like a vandal. Light up stage. Burn the chump like a candle. Dance. You guys know Rip Van Winkle. Anyway, so I'm going to get off this stupid show and go do some work. And let's see. Anybody else have anything interesting to say? Clap my dog. Neo video soon. Yeah, I'll try to do another Neo video, but hey, this stock's moving, so got to hit this one. Holding right around 41.20 right now. Again, up about $5. Algo's working hard, but volume is working even harder. Still trading, 4,000 or 5,000 shares, some ticks, other ticks too, but 15. So volume is still strong, about to pass 100 million shares on the day, and still lots of time left. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, still like an hour and a half left of trading, and already 100 million shares. So I don't know, guys. I think shorts are having a very hard time here. I don't think they have any exit strategy other than shorting a run, and it has nothing to do with fundamentals. They just, latched onto this stock. I think they made a huge mistake. And I think retail has a completely different mindset than they did like pre-pandemic, pre-Robinhood. Retail likes to punish market makers who get arrogant and make bad decisions and short good companies. I'm not saying this is a great company or anything in terms of their business ethics. It's like, Billy Madison is like when Carl, or what was the guy's name who they accidentally showed his balls in the running shorts. I think the guy from West Wing is like, your topic is business ethics. He's like, the ethics. It's just didn't work. No, Crazy Carl was the other guy. I can't remember that guy's name. But anyway, it was gross. See that guy's balls. Anyway, what a good movie, Billy Madison. Bought shares $39.90. Sold February 28, 41. Cover call is $5.35. Take me out. The stock is a cash cow. Hey man, nothing wrong with that. That's some nice short-term profits there, Brian. Either way. Beam Tech, so sir, what is your advice? I don't give financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you're not entertained, I suggest you try the great Stock Mo. I think you're really going to like what he has for you. Yep, making it rain, guys. That's what I do, man. Just trying to make you guys some money. Nothing else. I don't know. Not like, you think you guys make any difference? It's so funny. The guy, he's like, oh, he works for BlackRock. He shorts. It's like, my channel's tiny. There's 100 people watching and they're trading 100 million shares. You think a few thousand shares, anybody watching here, the buy is like going to be, people are so stupid. Yeah, this is, I'm moving the market. My receding hairline has market makers quaking in their boots. You guys suck. You guys are dumb. That's why I hate you guys. So many reasons. We tell bad jokes here. Indeed, Marco. Bad jokes are my raison d'etre. Yeah, I try to make you guys money. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. I cannot play the piano. I took some lessons when I was a kid, and I sucked. I took the saxophone, everything, guitar. You'd think the tuba Because, of course, I was a fat kid. I'm just not a fat guy. I was a fat the whole way through. But no, never took up the tuba. Probably didn't have the endurance. Anyway, guys, thanks. Live for tomorrow. I don't know, Marco, if I have time. I got to go do a bunch of work and get off my ass here. But yeah, Super Micro up $5.12, 14%. No sign of slowing down. It's going to move up more. It's still way too cheap, guys, at $24 billion. That's less than this year's sales while making strong profits, growing the top line, the bottom line, good margins. I mean, they actually have better margins than HPE. I was looking at it. Supermicro has better margins than their competitors, better technology than their competitors, closer relationship with NVIDIA than their competitors, better liquid cooling than their competitors, better price point than their competitors, better speed to delivery, speed to operation than their competitors. They're just the best at this. And it's a huge growth sector. And I think the people who saying they're in trouble are just, they don't have the facts on their side. I think I have the facts on my side. That's why I'm very comfortable with this investment. But again, you guys do you, high risk, high reward. You got to do your own research. You got to think for yourself. That's the only way to do it. Don't listen to fat people online. It's a recipe for disaster. Want to thank, of course, the great Not a Lurker. I don't think he's here. Probably working hard. Would like also to thank the great Alberto Berti Avilés, who I also don't think is here, but his proxy Lisa was here, I believe. So welcome and hello to Lisa. Thank you for being here. Premium of the Option is here. Mr. Premium of the Option, welcome and hello. Clap my dog, good to see you. Maria Powell, of course, the great Maria Powell, always a fan favorite here doing Poco Moss. Daniel Davis, I have 10 calls for April. I bought a few weeks ago. Hey, nice timing, Daniel. I think you're going to do extremely well there. If there's a huge run coming into tomorrow, don't be afraid to dump the calls. I'm just saying, look at it. There could be a sell-off, could be a sell the news event. I don't know. I just took my 33% profit. Hey, nice, Boston. Excellent. Great job. You're never going to be, I'm never going to be one of those guys who says, oh, don't take profit. Wait for it to go up more and more and more, because I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just giving you my best, I'm using my research, all my training and experience, all my knowledge. I'm looking at the math. I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at the short. I'm looking at the borrowing. I'm looking at especially the volume, momentum, what the critical market makers are doing. Not just market makers, but the market makers that actually run shit. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Geo, Janes. And then there's others on the short side that run things. And you know who they are. You got to watch what these people do and never listen to what they say. Only listen to what they say so you could sort of garner that the opposite is going to be true. But they create these opportunities for us over and over and over again. SMCI, Palantir, I believe Neo and CRISPR are two right now. They're just way too far down. I was trying to give you guys 10x down in the twos. I think that's almost up to 8 now. I wish I would have given you SMMT. I just didn't get to it. I bought off the fan. That was 20x. These things, you see them. You see them. You see when there's a disconnect between what they're saying and what they're doing. And you find those lows, you find that disconnect, and you pounce on it, and you make money. At least that's my hope. Hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we try to give you just a little bit more. I want to thank the greatest ever, Princess J, who makes this show possible, our on-site producer, boss, El Jefe, they call her, El Jefe, the dueño de this entire thing. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And Lisa, thanks. JS, how will 25% affect your opinion? I don't know. These guys, these market makers kiss 25% my ass. Peace. I'm out.